Philippine Tourism Law Chapter 6. The Tourism Public Sector. Learning objectives. To identify the various government agencies involved in the development and promotion of the tourism industry as well as to their functions. To describe the relationship of these agencies with one another. And to explain the possibility of public service as a career in the industry. Topic outline. The law and the discussion of the law. According to Richard Gordon, former Secretary of Tourism, the responsibility of government in developing and organizing, promoting its tourism industry is of primary importance to the Philippines. In order for the government to be more effective, partnership with the private sector need to be fostered and cooperation from local communities need to be worked out. The Department of Tourism. The Department of Tourism or DOT was created by virtue of Presidential Decree number 189. It is the primary policy making, planning, programming, coordinating and administrative entity of the executive branch of government in the development of the tourism industry, both domestic and international. The DOT has the following major functions. A. Supervise all activities of the government which concern tourism. B. Effective the removal of unnecessary barriers to travel, the integration and simplification of travel regulation as well as their efficient, fair, and courteous enforcement to assure expeditious and hospitable reception of all visitors. C. Formulate an integrated program of promotion and publicity designed to attract and induce people abroad to visit the Philippines, patronize things which are Philippine-made, and to enhance the prestige of the Filipino people and the Republic. Letter D is to review all tourism projects which may involve loans from government financial institution before said institutions may take action on them, and approve all tourism project and firm applying to the tax incentives under the Export Incentives Act as amended by Presidential Decree number 92 before the Board of Investment may take action on them. Letter E is represent the government in all such conferences and meetings concerning tourism and travel and discharge such responsibilities of the government as may arise from treaties, agreement, and other commitments on tourism and travel to which it is signatory. Accredited travel agents, tour operators, and tour guides. G is classify and accredit hotels, resorts, inn, motels, hotels, restaurants, and other related facilities that serve and services which cater to foreign and domestic tourists, and in addition, formulate suitable standards to ensure that the highest possible standards are met. Reasonable fees and charges are made and the service are given with honesty, courtesy, and efficiency. And the last is perform such other functions as may be provided by the law. The discussion of the law. The power to regulate, license, and supervise tour operators and accommodation facilities have now been developed to the local government units. However, it must be noted that the power to regulate does not include the power to prohibit operation of those establishments. Without due process of law, the word regulate as used in subsection 1, section 2444 of the Administrative Code means and no includes the power to control, to govern, and to restrain, but regulate should not be construed as synonymous with suppress or prohibit. The law. The Philippine Tourism Authority. Discussion of the law. Currently, the Philippine Tourism Authority has the following general powers. Letter A is to implement policies and programs of the Department of Tourism pertaining to the development, promotion, and supervision of tourism projects in the Philippines. Letter B is to promote the development into integrated resorts, complexes of selected and well-defined geographic areas with potential tourism values, known otherwise as tourist zones. Letter C is to extend all forms of assistance to private enterprises in undertaking tourism projects. Letter D is to undertake for its own account and in joint venture with the private sector to the operation and maintenance of essential tourist facilities which private enterprise alone is not prepared or willing to undertake. Letter E is to assure availability of land and reasonable prices or rental rates for private investor in hotels and other tourist facilities. Letter F is to coordinate, assist, and implement tourist-related plans or operation of local governments, governmental agencies, public corporation, and where clearly necessary and feasible, those of private entities so as to make possible the accelerated and balanced growth and the development of tourism in the Philippines, which is responsive to the needs of target travel markets here and abroad. The Intramuros Administration. The Intramuros Administration has the following functions. Letter A, it's formulate, coordinate, and or execute policies on the implementation of all programs, projects, and activities of the government affecting of relating to Intramuros. Letter B is to enter into contracts with any private person or entity or any government agency. Letter C is acquired through sale, expropriation, or other means. Letter D is receive, take, and hold by bequest, devise, donation, gift, purchase, or lease from foreign or domestic sources. Letter E is initiate, plan, undertake, and supervise the restoration. Letter F is prepare, adopt, revise, and enforce such rules and regulation implementing guidelines and standards. Letter G is expropriate properties within Intramuros. Letter H is sponsor, conduct, or otherwise assist and support festivals and cultural activities in Intramuros. Letter I is give grants, contributions, and donation for the restoration, repair, or maintenance of historic structures in Intramuros. Letter G is prescribe and collect reasonable amounts to be charged as the filing fees, inspection fees, permit fees, and other administrative or service fees necessary for the effective enforcement. The National Park Development Committee or the NPDC. The National Parks Development Committee or the NPDC is a governmental body typically responsible for the planning, development, and management of national parks within a country. Its duties often include conservation efforts, infrastructure development, visitor services, and promoting awareness of the park's natural and cultural heritage. The NPDC works to ensure the preservation of these valuable areas for future generations while also facilitating responsible tourist and recreation. The National Historical Institute or the NHI. The National Historical Institute was a government agency in the Philippines, responsible for preserving the nation's historical heritage. It was later replaced by the National Historical Commission of the Philippines or the NHCP in 2010, which continues its mission of conserving and promoting the country's historical sites and artifacts, conducting research and disseminating historical information. National Center for Culture and Arts or the NCCA. Republic Act 7356 has been enacted in order to create the mandate of the National Center for Culture and Arts. Its functions are as follows. It formulates policies for the development of culture and the arts, to coordinate and implement the overall policies and program of attached agencies on the development of culture and arts as stated under the Executive Order Number 80, to administer the National Endowment Fund for Culture and the Arts, and to encourage artistic creation within a climate of artistic freedom, and to develop and promote the Filipino national culture and arts, and to preserve the Filipino cultural heritage. The Philippine Convention Visitor Corporation or the PCVC. The Philippine Convention and Visitor Corporation was the former name of the Tourism Promotion Board or the TPB of the Philippines. It is government agency responsible for promoting tourism and attracting visitors to the country. The PCVC or the TPB organizes events, conducts marketing campaigns, and implements strategies to showcase the Philippines as a prime tourist destination. Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas or the BSP. The Presidential Decree No. 520 issued on July 23, 1974 empowers the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas or the formerly Central Bank of the Philippines to organize a corporation which will manage and administer the Philippine International Convention Center. The National Economic Development Authority or the NEDA. The National Economic and Development Authority or the NEDA is a government agency in the Philippines responsible for coordinating and evaluating socio-economic plans, policies, and programs. It plays a crucial role in formulating the country's development strategies and ensuring their effective implementation to promote sustainable economic growth and development. The NEDA primary functions include conducting research, analysis, and planning to address various economic and social issues, as well as coordinating with the other government agencies, the private sector organizations, and international partners to achieve national development goals. The Department of Environmental and Natural Resources or the DENR. The power and function of the Department of Environmental and Natural Resources or the DENR as outlined in the Section 5 of Executive Order 192 include formulating and implementing guidelines, rules, and regulation on environmental management and natural resources conservation. The administering and enforcing environmental laws and regulations, including those on pollution control and environmental impact assessment. And 3 is promoting sustainable development and ensuring the rational use of natural resources. Number 4 is conducting research and development activities related to environmental protection and natural resources management, and providing technical assistance and capacity building to local governments, units, and other stakeholders in environmental management. And number 6 is coordinating and cooperating with other government agencies or non-governmental organizations and international bodies on environmental concerns, and performing other functions as may be provided by law or assigned by the President. The Department of Public Works and Highways, the DPWH. The Department of Public Works and Highways is a government agency in the Philippines responsible for the planning, design, construction, and maintenance of infrastructure projects such as roads, bridges, flood control system, and public buildings. It plays a crucial role in the development and improvement of the country infrastructure to support economic growth and enhance the quality of life for its citizens. The Department of Transportation and Communication or the DOTC is a government agency responsible for overseeing transportation and communication infrastructure and services in many countries, including the Philippines. It typically manages roads, highways, airports, seaports, railways, and telecommunication networks. In some countries, including the Philippines, the agency may have been restructured or renamed since my last update, so it's a good idea to verify the current status if you need the latest information. Department of Trade and Industry or the DTI. It acts as the catalyst for intensified private sector activity to accelerate and sustain economic growth through a comprehensive industrial growth strategy, a progressive and socially responsible liberalizations and deregulations program, and policies designed for the expansion and diversification of both domestic and foreign trade. The Department of Foreign Affairs or the DFA. The Department of Foreign Affairs or the DFA is a government agency responsible for managing a country's foreign regulation, and diplomacy. Its primary functions typically include representing the country abroad, negotiating treaties and agreements, providing consular services to the citizens living or traveling abroad, and promoting the country's interests internationally. The Bureau of Foods and Drugs, or the BFAD, is an agency in the Philippines responsible for ensuring the safety, efficiency, and quality of foods, drugs, cosmetics, and medical devices. It regulates the manufacture, importations, exportation, distributions, sale, and use of these products to protect public health. The BFAD also conducts inspections, tests, and assessment to ensure compliance with regulatory standards and guidelines. In 2010, the BFAD was integrated into the Food and Drug Administration, or the FDA, as part of the larger restructuring effort to enhance regulatory functions and improve public health services. And that's all for the chapter 6, and thank you for listening.